All right, so here we are to do a check-in for the Divine Masculine. I haven't done one of these in a little bit. I kind of like to let a little time pass just to see the energy that have shifted, if any, and we do have that second eclipse coming up on the 15th, and I feel for me personally, it's been a pretty intense purging of energies, of stagnant energies, and so I can only imagine for the Divine Masculine or for anybody else, it's also occurring. So that's kind of what I want to check on today, and just to see where our Divine Masculines are and how they're feeling towards this connection. So let's go ahead and jump right into the reading. All right, when I was doing the pre-shuffle, the Empress wanted to come out a couple of times when I was just tuning into the energies. So I am feeling like, you know, the Divine Masculine is seeing his feminine in a really, you're really reflecting the Empress energy for the Divine Masculine. And they're really seeing your value at this time. They're understanding who you are to them. It's no longer just that, you know, you're really special. They're understanding who you are to them. And so that's a really important piece for the journey, for that recognition for the masculine to understand. Okay, so let me get a little bit more shuffle, and we're going to talk about what's he thinking and feeling towards his current situation. How is he thinking and feeling towards the connection and then his Divine Feminine? What guidance is he receiving as far as actions to take towards this connection or towards his Divine Feminine? What resistance is he holding towards that guidance, if any? What challenges is he facing, that sort of thing? And then what is the probable outcome for the month of May, remainder of the month of May? So I just want to kind of give it a little time frame. Let me give it one more good shuffle, and then we'll get started. Okay, let's tune into our Divine Masculine Collective. What is he feeling towards his current situation? How is he thinking and feeling towards his current situation? Getting the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is all about deception, about I'm getting the feeling that he is recognizing that his current situation has kind of been built on a lie, as he's been deceiving himself regarding his situation. You know, if he's been talking about, or, you know, convincing himself, he's been convincing himself that what he has is good enough and it's what he's wanted. And he's coming to realize that he's been lying to himself, that this is not what he wants, whether it's if he's in a relationship or if he's just single, and the life that he's built is no longer something that he can continue to lie to himself about. And, you know, and we all do this in our life. We get into a job, you know, for instance, and, you know, it pays good and it's all right. And we tell ourselves that it's good, it's working out. But, you know, at some point we come to realize like it's draining us, or, you know, we hate going to our job, and we realize we've been kind of deceiving ourselves this whole time. And so I feel like that's kind of something that he's coming to realize regarding his current situation, whatever that may be, whether that's a relationship or just, you know, a family dynamic. But I'm also getting this energy of he's wanting to kind of just, there's this energy of wanting to like just sneak away. You know, it's kind of like when you're at a party and you realize you don't want to be there anymore. You don't want to tell anybody bye. You just kind of like, I don't know, I get like this all the time when I go to parties. Like you go to the party and you're kind of over it and you realize you don't want to be there anymore. And then you just kind of want to sneak out without anybody really noticing. And you just kind of want to like exit the building quietly and not make a big fuss about it. And I feel like that's kind of the Divine Masculine's energy right now. They just kind of want to sneak away in hopes that no one notices that they've left. Of course, this can't really happen, especially if it's like a relationship. But that's the energy I'm getting from that card for their current energy. And we will clarify these as we go when we come back around. But let's go ahead and lay down the rest of the cards. We have, what is he thinking and feeling towards his Divine Feminine, towards his connection? Let's just see what the contrast here is, because I'm sure it's pretty stark. What is he thinking and feeling towards his divine feminine at this time? And the connection. What is he thinking and feeling? One card, please. We get the Eight of Wands, and I've been getting this card in personal readings as well for that exact same position of, you know, there's this, he wants to move forward with it. It's like there's this passionate drive that he's feeling towards his feminine, towards this connection. This card always reminds me of like 8 matches that are about to come together and make a real fire. And so there's this like explosive energy that's coming from the divine masculine when he thinks about this connection, when he thinks about the time that you guys have had together, the intimate moments you've had together. It kind of really lights his fires, is what I'm hearing. And you can just kind of see the stark difference just in the energy of the pictures on the cards. It's like this is kind of dreary and dark and kind of hiding from the light, and this is like in the middle of an explosion. The fireworks are going off, and it just speaks to the contrast of where he's at and where he wants to be, and he's recognizing that contrast himself. So which is always important when you're wanting to shift into a new place. Like, it takes your own realization, your own awareness of where you are and the gap between that place and where you want to be. Once you realize that, you can start taking steps in a different direction. It kind of gives you that strength to take steps in a new direction. What guidance is he receiving at this time? Spiritual guidance or intuition as far as movement forward in this connection. What's he receiving from his guides, from his intuition? We're getting the Wheel of Fortune. I'm getting that he's totally receiving the green light to turn the wheel, to move forward, to switch things up, to try something new. He's getting all this guidance to take and I'm really drawn to the dice here on this card. Let's see if I can put it in. See those little dice around her neck? It's like he's really being guided to take this risk, because he does see it as a big risk, because it is a completely different, and this is something that the divine feminines need to understand. Like, when you're feeling impatient with your divine masculine, this is a huge leap from one way of being to another way of being, and it takes a lot, you know, and they do see it as a big risk because it's requiring them to become very open and be very vulnerable, and it's not something that they've ever lived like that before. But the guidance that they're receiving is take that leap. It's going to be worth it. And, you know, like, I feel like Spirit is really driving that point home with the divine masculine to just do it. Just do it, and you're going to love it. It's going to be worth it. So there is this like huge push to move forward with the divine feminine. What resistance does he have towards this guidance, towards moving forward, or what challenges is he experiencing regarding moving forward in this connection? Kind of more stepping up, I want to say. I feel like he's getting this, it's time to step up your game, show up differently. And I'm also hearing, you know, he's getting this, like, the fortune favors the bold. So he's going to have to be bold if he wants to see something new. If he's done experiencing this kind of deceptive life that he's kind of created for himself. So, what resistance and challenges is he experiencing at this time? Challenges and resistance is he experiencing at this time, if any? Getting the King of Swords. That's funny, the Queen of Swords wanted to come out with it. And Queen of Swords as well. So the challenge that he's facing right now is, it's interesting the way that these cards come out, because it's like they have their backs to one another, kind of. You know, the feminine is facing one way, and she seems really sure. And I feel like his energy is, he's just feeling, he's not clear on his direction. He's not clear on how to make this happen. He doesn't feel I feel like there's like a lot of information swimming in his brain right now. Like it's kind of a muddled mess, and he's trying to find clarity. And I feel like he is drawing on the feminine energy to get clarity, but even though it's, you know, that's just how the connection works, is the masculine, and that they draw on each other's energy. And so it's like, the more, I feel like this is kind of a message for the divine feminines watching, the more clear you are on what this connection is, the more faith that you have in this connection, this helps the masculine to become more clear and have more faith and give them the strength to take this gamble. So yeah, just be very clear and, you know, understand what this connection is. Stop doubting your own intuition regarding this connection. And this helps them find that clarity within as well. And then what sorts of action can we expect from the divine masculine for the remainder month of May? Or what's the probable outcome? Ooh, I see the Emperor has fallen on the floor. Emperor, so, whoops, did I just move this? This is the divine masculine, you know, for me. And I'm always drawn to, in this deck, that he's holding this king from a chess piece from the game chess. And I'm getting that he's strategizing right now. Like currently, as we speak, he's going through a strategy on how to make this happen. And that's also speaks to this King of Swords. You know, he's all about strategy and figuring it out. And that's something that he's doing for the remainder month of May. This is kind of what the eclipse is bringing in, this change of being able to move from the life that he's built into something new. And I just love also how there's all these colors here, and then we have like this kind of darker energy, and it's just kind of like lifeless. It's like I feel like he's really there's just like no life in his current situation, whatever that may be. There's just sucking the life out of him is what I'm feeling, and it's really exhausting. And so they're really taking the time to strategize about what to do next towards this connection, because this is kind of what's lighting them up. This is what's making them feel alive, and they want more of that, and they want to know, they're trying to figure out how to bring that into their life. So they know where it lies. They know it lies with their divine feminine. They are very, very clear on that. What they're not clear on, the challenge that they're experiencing, is how to move forward, how to do it. All right, now I want to go ahead and clarify. I'm going to give it a couple good shuffles and then pull from the top. And we're going to talk about these cards here on the table. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles. This is also kind of driving him crazy. Like he's just, this is kind of where he's at right now. This is feeling out in the cold, feeling left out, feeling like, you know, inside this door is the party. This is where he wants to be. And he's just feeling really left out, feeling really down on his luck right now about where he's at. And it's just, you know, but it's very simple. There's the key. And I feel like, you know, the energy I'm getting from this card is that it's like this woman knows that the key is there. It's just, she's not ready to pick it up just yet. It's like she has got to cry it out first, and then she'll get her shit together and pick up the key and open the door. So I feel like he's kind of going through this process of like just kind of almost grieving your old life, but not in the sense of regret that you're leaving it. It's not, there's no regret here. It's just a normal process of anytime you leave something old and, you know, the past, it's healthy to grieve that and take the time to really express your emotions regarding how you feel about what you've left behind. So I feel like there's a lot of shame here with wasted time, like the divine masculine is dealing with feeling like he's wasted time in his life. But what I'm hearing is there's no such thing as wasted time, just lessons learned and growth and opportunities for growth. So give me some cards on the Seven of Swords. Tell me about the Seven of Swords. Why is it here? We have the Judgment card. Yeah, this is awakening to a new life. This is allowing yourself to be taken by the flow of the river of life is what I'm feeling. And there's just this deep surrender that the masculine is coming into regarding his current situation. And it kind of brings in this energy of the Five of Pentacles as well, of just realizing that when they have controlled every aspect of their life and just, you know, egoically moved forward, they haven't really built anything that's made them super happy, nothing that they're really proud of. And they're realizing they're kind of bringing in the energy of the divine and letting that move through them. So it's really beautiful energy. And the Five of Swords. This is causing, this is causing some mental anguish because they're realizing they can't just sneak away. They have to face it. They have to face the life that they've built, and they have to be strong and speak their mind and speak what's on their heart about it. And, if they're in a relationship, like, that's not easy. It's not easy to tell somebody that, that the relationship isn't making you happy and that you're not feeling like this is the life for you. And it's not a difficult thing to say, especially if you're like a nice person, because that hurts the other person. And, or, taking this leap of faith, taking a gamble, taking a risk, that can cause some mental anguish. And so but this is a minor arcana compared to this Judgment card of this deep surrender. So it's like, yeah, this is playing a part, but it's not, it's a transitory energy. He's moving through that. And the biggest thing is this surrender that is happening for the divine masculine when it comes to his current situation. Now tell me about this Eight of Wands with how he's thinking and feeling towards the divine feminine and the connection. We have the Death card. Yeah, there's just, and this is kind of a repeating message that keeps coming through, is there's just an old part of the divine masculine that's died and something's being asked to be reborn. And it's like, there's this, it's like this card has two meanings, so it talks about, I love how these are even set up on the table. It's like, there's the death to this Seven of Swords, this Five of Swords energy. Because of this deep surrender, it's bringing about a death to the old life. And it's what's being born is this aliveness, is this fire, is this passion, is this drive to move forward in a new direction. And this is kind of like, I feel like the eclipse energy is really bringing this through. Look at these cards, like with the Judgment and the Death, like these are big players in the realm of energy. And this is what's going on for the masculine right now, is there's a deep surrender and there's a death of the old way of living, whatever that looks like for each individual masculine. Tell me more about this Death card. Why is the Death card here? We have the Four of Cups. Yeah, the Death card is here because he's gotten bored of his old life. This is boredom. This is disappointment. This is, she's over it. Whatever she's been experiencing, she totally just looks like the girl at the party that is over everything that's happening. Like, she wants to go home. And it's kind of like this realization that I'm done partying. This life isn't for me anymore. And so, it's all about this. I love this like co-creation between spirit and the divine masculine at this time. It's like, as they're being pushed to move forward, it's causing these realizations that their life isn't really what they thought it was. So, and they're just getting bored of how they've lived their life. Tell me about this Wheel as far as what was here. This was about what guidance he's receiving. So about taking a risk and, you know, like just moving forward, turning that wheel, you know, turning the corner, new life ahead. Let's go. Tell me more about that. We get the Five of Cups. I kind of get this energy from this card that there's a little bit of wallowing in their sorrows a little bit. Again, there's just this like, this regret that's coming through, this kind of feeling ashamed of themselves, kind of feeling down in the dumps, as if, you know, like they've been wasting their time. Now that they realize where their happiness lies, now that they've seen where their happiness lies, they're realizing how much they were just in the wrong place, and they were putting all their energy in, investing all their energy in the wrong people, in the wrong situations. And I feel like they've kind of lost some faith in themselves to make good decisions. Like that's kind of what I'm getting from this card, is there's this energy. And again, this is a 5, you know, so look at all these 5s here. This is like this transitory energy, you know, it's not permanent, but it is like currently, like with this reading, this is kind of the energy they're moving through of, what was I saying? Just totally lost my thought. They're moving through this energy of feeling like they've wasted time, of feeling like they don't even trust themselves to make a good decision, because these are the life that they built has been completely with their control. They've controlled all of it down to like, you know, every little thing, and they've just held on really tightly. And since they've done that, and they realize that that's not it, that's not the thing, it's caused this like, well, can I even trust myself to make good decisions for myself? Can I trust myself to know what's right? And so there is this kind of like, they're getting this intuitive information to move forward towards their divine feminine, but it's also kind of like in tandem with this energy of, can I even trust myself right now? Am I trustworthy with my own happiness? So tell me more about this 5 of Cups. We've got the Queen of Cups. I feel like this is the divine feminine energy coming through with, you know, if you're sending love to your divine masculine, it's really helping them through these more denser energies of these 5s here. It's kind of helping them move through whatever they're going through as far as conflict regarding their current situation. So I feel like this is kind of a message from Spirit to continue doing so, to continue sending them love, and be mindful of your thoughts when you think of the divine masculine, that they're not ones of impatience or where is he still needs to do work, you know, those types of kind of snarky comments that sometimes we can make when we're feeling pissy towards our divine masculine. I feel like Spirit's saying, you know, just be mindful of the energy that we're putting out towards the divine masculine, because they're trying to move through these, and they are, and like the energies are allowing them to do so. But if they feel any resistance coming from the feminine, whether they know that's where it's coming from or not, it can delay the process. So just know that. Okay, now this is the resistance and the challenge. So yeah, they're not feeling clear. There's still this kind of, which, you know, is obvious with all these 5s on the table. There's a lot of like, they're feeling kind of bad about themselves right now. So tell me more about this King of Swords. We have the Knight of Wands. They don't want to be impulsive. They don't want to, I feel like they're having a hard time with taking this risk and making that gamble. It's like, you know, the Knight of Wands is very impulsive, is very direct, is very quick, and just goes for it. And that's something they're just struggling with. And it's like their energy is more of like more slow and methodical, and they want to really have a good strategy moving forward. And so they're just struggling with this like I feel like they realize that they're going to have to just go for it. Like it might just be something that they can't keep thinking about, and they're just going to have to take that leap. And, you know, they're struggling with that because that's not really their MO, you know, it's not really their energy. We have the Nine of Wands. So it's like, I feel like, you know, they're tired of thinking. They're tired of overthinking. They're tired of having to have everything figured out, controlling every little thing. And they're realizing that that energy is kind of what got them in this Seven of Swords energy of feeling like their whole life has been kind of a lie. And so I think they're realizing the value of just going for it, of just realizing what you're passionate about and going for it. And if you're feeling called to go in that direction, it will be worth it. So they're starting to realize that. All right, tell me more about this Emperor as far as this is a probable outcome. This is, you know, a balanced masculine energy coming forth and making a strategy to move forward and going after what he's passionate about. So tell me more about the Emperor. Why is the Emperor here? Ten of Wands. This is all, the Ten of Wands is all about burden. And, you know, this card is like, this card to me is talking about like the Divine Masculine has kind of packed his bags and moving out, you know, like metaphorically, of their old life, because it's just the burden has become too much. And they just want to take what they can pack up and go. They don't want to bring extra baggage. They want to leave the past behind is what I'm getting. They just want to leave the past behind and go towards greener pastures. Tell me more about this Ten of Wands. Yeah, the Knight of Cups, you know, that's the probable outcome, which is a really beautiful outcome for the month of May. You know, with these eclipse energies, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you hear from your Divine Masculine, even if it has been a long, long time. And I feel like for some of you, it probably has been a really long time. But that's kind of these energies that are here with the surrender, the world, and the Death card. It's like something's coming back around, and somebody who has left their burden, put the burden down, and wants to move forward in love and is understanding the importance of love in their life. They've kind of shut that down and has been very logical about their life. And they're now kind of stepping more into their emotional body and letting that lead the way. And yeah, so for the possible outcome for the month of May is a Divine Masculine returning and offering some sort of emotional communication towards the Divine Feminine. All right, now I want to get just a final message. What does the Divine Masculine want to say to the Divine Feminine at this time? What does the Divine Masculine want to say to his Divine Feminine at this time? What does he want to say? Let me get a couple more cards. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Victory. So what he's wanting to say to his Divine Feminine is, I am getting the strength to leave this toxic life that I've built behind and create something new with you. I am building the strength. So this is, you know, remember that when you're experiencing silence from your Divine Masculine, when you're feeling impatient, when you're feeling untrusting of the connection, that things are happening behind the scenes. There was a lot of this devil energy in the Divine Masculine's life. There was a lot of just low frequency, lower vibrational energy with the people that he's been hanging around, with the relationships that he's found himself in his family dynamic, you know, wherever it may apply for you personally. But he's saying he's getting the strength to work through that and move forward in a totally different way with this Ace of Pentacles. This is a solid foundation movement forward, a solid new beginning here in the physical world. So he's aware that he wants something new with you, in real life, not just in his head, not in some fantasy world, but it does take moving away from this first, and he's getting the strength to do that. So, and like I said, at the bottom of the deck, we had the victory card, and that's just Spirit's message to you saying that there is going to be victory. He is going to get the strength. These things are happening right now. So, yeah, like I said, for the month of May, don't be surprised if you hear from your divine masculine. And I'm going to leave you with that. That's your reading, and I will talk to you guys later.